Wednesday Night Live. I am so sorry I have not been live for a minute, and also have not had a chance to post any videos over the last week. Um, Honestly, things have been a little crazy. But first things first, for anyone watching this later on replay, this is a live video. The whole point is for me to be able to chit chat with people, answer questions, etc. in a live setting. So this is not just a straight up tutorial. It'll be slower. There'll be a lot of talking. And if that's not your kind of video, please feel free to not watch. That's totally cool. I have a lot of videos that do not have that and are just fast tutorials without all the chit chat, okay? For everybody else, please say hi in the chat box. Hey Barbie, let me know where you're watching from, and we're gonna do a few fun projects. I'm also gonna give you guys some sneak peeks of some videos that are coming out soon. I have a lot of editing to do. I've gotten a little bit behind. Some of you may know, but my grandma has not been doing great. So I've been actually spending as much time as humanly possible with her. I also just adopted a dog this last weekend, which was a little bit crazy. And my daughter just started back in school this last week. So it's just been crazy. But anyhow, I'm glad we're here. Glad we're live. All right, there we go. Hey Wanda, hey Jamie, hey Karen, hey Nova, hey the Mosier. I hope I said that. Or Joe in Alabama. Welcome everybody. All right. So first off, while people are just starting to tune in, I just want to give you guys some sneak peeks of some of the videos that will be coming out really soon. Again, I just have a lot of editing to do. This one, and most of these you can see on Facebook already. The Facebook videos are a lot quicker and easier to edit. Ooh, I said it correctly. Yay. So here's one. This might be the next video that I get done for you guys. And it's just something a little bit different. I think it's really pretty. It's a bowl with a little bit of a flare. So that's one that's coming out soon. These guys, which have not even been posted on Facebook yet. Oops. There's some new iridescent chameleon coasters, and I'm going to be making some more of these today because they are my favorite. I'm having so much fun with this mold, and when you do it with clear, it looks fantastic on both sides. I think I am going to do these same colors with black though, because I really like them. So that was coming soon to both Facebook and YouTube and a theater near you. And then this, I just left it in the bowl because why not? Is a smaller bowl, and I did this with a chameleon powder and then black in my resin, and I think this is just gorgeous. This will also be in the next auction. So this video is coming very soon, and I now sell these rose coaster molds as well as the mold that I used to do this one. It looks like this. I might do another one of these today. I don't know. I gotta get to bed kind of early, so I'm not sure if it'll cure in time. But it's like a smaller tray mold. It's a little over 8 inches across. It could be used, I guess, as like a trivet as well. I hope I said that right. But I think it makes amazing bowls. So that's what's going on. And now let's get started. We're gonna mix up some resin first. I'm gonna grab it because I have it sitting outside in the sun warming up. And there will be a new art auction starting on my Facebook page probably tonight, guys. So keep an eye out for that. Yeah. I think that's everything. I think I covered all my bases. All right. How is everybody else doing? How's your week going? How's it going, guys? Yeah, I love that bowl also. It's so pretty. All right. I think let's see. I'm gonna make the rose coasters. The rose coasters take about 3.5 ounces of resin each. So that would be about 7 ounces. And then I kind of want to do one of my irregular bowl molds with the chameleon powder as well. I have not done that yet. So that one takes, I think, 5 ounces of resin. And I have one that's already inside out. So I think, let's do that. Now, if you are going to brush your molds with resin, or with mica rather, or do any kind of design, you want to do that before you mix up your resin. And I almost just messed up on that, but I'm glad I remembered. So I'm gonna grab the colors. The first one I'm gonna use, and it's gonna be the main one, is actually from this little piggy. It's called Hoity Toity, and it is a gorgeous blend of like purple, blue, green. It's got some kind of gold in it, and it's just gorgeous. Ah, thanks, Karen. And I'll start with these rose coasters. Just like to shake out any excess. And I'm going to adjust the camera real quick so that you guys can see a bit closer up. There is some mica powder in there. Whoops. Sometimes I'm kind of messy, as you guys know. Alright, let me adjust this so you guys can see a little bit better. We'll get a little zoomed in. Okay, let me see how that looks on the other end. Not bad, not bad. Could be better, could be worse. Okay, I think that's good. All right, so I've already got this mica powder in a cup here. Obviously, it's kind of hard to stick a brush down in here. So I just put some in a cup, and then you can always just put it back in that container if you want. And I'm just using a paintbrush. It's a cheap paintbrush. You don't need anything fancy. You don't need like a super soft brush or anything like that. And then I like to start off by going along the edges here because that's the main place that I want to get this chameleon powder. But you can honestly just cover the whole thing and it'll look awesome. There's no right or wrong with this. I just kind of like to go pretty heavy on these edges and then I'll go a little bit lighter on the rest. Totally up to you. And you can use various chameleon powders. I will probably be using 2 different ones here. This is obviously a darker one, and I'm going to use one that's a little bit more pearly. Or you could even use 1 chameleon powder and 1 regular mica. Maybe I'll do that. I don't know. Let's figure it out as we go. I think that might actually look even cooler. Okay. So I've got it all along the edges here. And it's not perfect. There's a little bit, you know, in between. I'm gonna do this one real quick. So again, these rose coaster molds are available on my website if anyone is interested. Check them out there. And then this specific chameleon powder is from Fluid Art Co. And they have a bunch of different ones and they're awesome. A little bit goes a long way. So sometimes you may go, well, that's expensive for that little bottle, but these are really concentrated and they're very gorgeous colors and a little bit goes a long way. So I'd say totally worth it. Hey Rhonda, been pretty good. All right, I'm gonna leave those for now and I'm gonna go on to this guy. Now again, I've never done this where I brushed this with anything. So this will be kind of a fun little experiment. Now my dog has not been in here. That still sounds kind of weird saying that, my dog. But still, dog hair sticks to everything, so I fear I'm gonna just have dog hair on everything for the rest of my life. Probably. She's a husky. You guys can see a picture of her on my Facebook page. Also, I should post a picture on my YouTube, huh? So everyone can see her. She's so cute. And this one doesn't flip inside out as easily as some of the others. Not like it's difficult, but it's just a little bit uneven. So it's going to be kind of hard to get this covered, but that's okay. We're going to make it work. And then I think I'm just going to pour black in both of these. Oh, also, before I forget, through Friday, you can take 30% off of any pouring tools on my website, and that's like split cups, bottle bottoms, etc. No code needed. Just add them to your cart and you'll see the price reflected at checkout with the discount. Well, that's awesome, Barbie. I can imagine raising huskies would be fun. Probably a lot of work, but now you can kind of see here, I'm not 100% covering it and very evenly. And that's because I like a lot of depth, and I think doing it a little more sporadically gives it more depth, but there's no right or wrong again. You can cover the whole thing if you want. It's just going to take you a while. Which is, again, totally fine. I'm already getting slightly impatient on this. And I hope you see why you do this first before mixing your resin, because it can take a while. Okay. Just gonna do a little more on the top, and then I think we're pretty good. So again, sorry for the lack of content recently over the last week or so. I'll try to get better with getting things edited and posted in a reasonable time. Well, hopefully you guys follow me everywhere so you guys see as much content as possible on all platforms. This is just one chameleon. It's called Hoity Toity. It's from Fluid Art Co. They call these stuck-up piggies, hence the name Hoity Toity. And they're gorgeous chameleons. I have another one or two of them. I honestly have to figure out where I have put one though, because I know I have another color that's more of a warmer one. All right, I'm going with this. So we're gonna flip this inside out, or right side out rather. And who knows? We'll see how this goes. You can also, of course, always mix the chameleon directly into the resin. So you do not have to just brush it onto your surface. You can mix it in. Okay, I wanted to do a little more on these roses before we mix up the resin. And for that, I'm going to use the pearl metallic powder. And that's Polycolor. So I've got a little bit of excess of that chameleon, so it's going to kind of blend with that in some spots here. And I'm just going really light with this. I don't want a bunch of heavy, I want it to be transparent on this part so that you see the black very well through it. and that's going to make these colors really pop. So also this being white, essentially it's going to blend with that mold. You're not really going to see it, but trust me, it's there and it'll make a big difference. And when we demold it, you'll really see it. But it can, can be a little difficult. You have to remember to remember what spots you've already gone over or not gone over, so you don't miss any and end up with a spot with nothing on it. All right, Wanda said, I'm new to this. I have a question. How long do you let the resin cure before you want to sell merchandise? Honestly, it really depends what you're doing, but typically a week is totally fine. If you're doing coasters, you might want to wait a little bit longer just in case someone happens to buy it and want to put a cup on it immediately. With coasters, it's generally best to wait closer to 30 days if you can. But yeah, generally speaking, a week is fine. That's a good question. It also depends on the resin you're using, though, just as a note. So every resin is different. You might want to check with the resin company of the resin that you're using specifically. But if you're using Mixed Media Girl Artist resin, that would be the answer, okay? And this is a great time to ask any questions because I can do this and read the computer at the same time. So if you have any other questions. And guys, if you're enjoying yourself, please make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Feel free to super chat or super sticker if you like. And definitely this is your time to ask any and all questions. There are no wrong questions. No problem. Hey, Kat. Welcome. Okay, I think these are going to be really pretty, nice and pearly. All right, let's get our resin mixed up. So, that one. Here's how I clean my resin cups. Now, sometimes this doesn't work out as well on a live video because I'm under pressure. But I leave the stick in there and use that to pull it out. Usually it'll come right out. If it doesn't, I just grab onto a piece and coax it out. Sometimes it's a little more ornery than others, like today. But generally speaking, it'll usually come out in one piece. Today it was more like two, but that's okay. Now we have a nice clean cup. And somehow here I got a little bit of red resin dye, and that is still wet. I'm gonna actually clean that off real quick with some isopropyl alcohol before I have some regrets. It's already getting on my gloves. All right, I think that's probably as good as it gets. Okay, so we need about 7 ounces and 5 ounces, so we need about 12. And just in case, I'm gonna do 14, just to have a little bit of extra. So I start off with part B, and keep in mind, I did preheat these, okay, guys? So, or preheated part A, rather, which is the thicker of the two. So I'm gonna do 7 ounces of part B, and I start off with part B because it is the thinner of the two. And therefore, it's going to be easier to mix it in fully than starting off with the thicker part. If you start off with the thicker one, it can stick to the sides of your container too much and then be hard to mix in completely. So there we go, equal parts A and B. And then we want to stir this for a good 4 to 5 minutes or so. And really important is as you're stirring, make sure you are scraping the sides and scraping the bottom of your container repeatedly. A lot of times people think that if you stir it for long enough, you're good. But that's not the case. Resin actually does not give a crap how long you stir it for. Whether it's 2 minutes or 10 minutes, it doesn't care. It's not timing you. It just cares that the parts are fully mixed in. And if they are, you'll be good. If they're not, it will never fully cure. It'll remain bendy, it can remain sticky, tacky, etc. So make sure you are repeatedly scraping the sides and the bottom to get any unmixed resin mixed fully in. Has anyone started on some fun fall art projects? Like anyone started on pumpkins or even just fall colored projects, things for Halloween, glow in the dark, anything like that? Let's see. All right, I'm gonna put this a little closer to myself. I don't think you guys really need to see the entire thing. But if you have any questions on mixing resin, let me know. Okay, doing a lot of Halloween jewelry. Awesome. Resin skulls. Good. Just pulled out your ghost molds and glow in the dark micas and glitter. Awesome. And I hope we have that glow in the dark paint back in stock really soon on our website. Just things have been a little crazy. All right, I think we're good. So I'm going to, I don't usually like to put color directly into these guys because I reuse these over and over and over. So I am going to take a another cup I have here that I've used like 5 times now. And it is also a mixing cup. So I'm going to just use that. It also can be good to transfer your resin from one cup to another. Just to help make sure it gets fully mixed. And then we'll mix the black into there. I might want to add some diamond dust to this also. Let's start off with the black though. So the black is incredibly concentrated. This is the Alumilite black resin dye. It's very opaque and very concentrated. You do not need to overdo it. I'm going to put probably 5 drops in this. This is about 13 ounces in here because I left a little in the other cup. And it's going to be plenty. You could do a little bit more if you want. Or if you want it to be a little bit translucent, you can do even less. But trust me when I say it's very concentrated. And it's going to look a little funny probably because, again, I'm reusing this cup, so it's already got a little bit of color on the sides from other projects. So. Okay. And that seems to be good. All right, I think I'm gonna not do the diamond dust idea. Okay, I have had some trouble on these with a couple of like tiny air bubbles near the center where it's got kind of that smaller part. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some of my 91% isopropyl alcohol and I'm gonna pre-spray these a little bit, and that should actually totally eliminate that. Here's some of my glow in the dark paint, awesome. And don't worry about it messing up the powder. It's not going to. It'll be fine. I cannot wait to see these with this color. So I fill these up all the way to the top. Just do these in one go. You could do multiple layers if you want, but I don't really see why. That seems like extra work. And just make sure that they're evenly filled up. And then because I pre-sprayed them with the alcohol, I'm not going to spray them again right away. I'm going to let them sit for a few minutes and then I'll go in and spritz them again to get rid of the air bubbles. So for now, let's scooch those to the side and we'll do our bowl. And this, I always pre-spray with the alcohol because going down into those little spots there, it can have a lot of air bubbles. So, and then try not to pour too fast. Give it time to go down. This one, that can be pretty easy to overfill. Okay. I think that looks pretty good. So you can see all those air bubbles coming out. That's going to happen for a little while. So same thing with this. I like to let it sit for 10 to 15 minutes and then I'll come back and I will spray it again with the isopropyl alcohol to get rid of any other air bubbles that may have popped up. This reminds me of the La Brea tar pits. Have you guys been to the La Brea tar pits in Los Angeles? This is exactly what that reminds me of. Okay, I have a little bit of resin left, not a lot, but I think I have enough to do a leaf trinket. So let's do that. And why not? Let's go ahead and continue on the same vein of the chameleon powders. Now, again, I always say to do the design before you mix up your resin. Now, obviously, I already have my resin mixed up, but because it's just a couple ounces sitting in here, it's not going to cure nearly as fast as when you have 14 ounces sitting in a big cup, right? So I'm not too worried about it. Should be totally fine. All right, I'm going to let's do the same color because I like it. I'm going to add a little more to my cup here. So this can be either a leaf or a feather. So I think with these colors, I would consider this a feather. But it is whatever you want it to be, okay? There's no rules. And it's really cute for jewelry. It can be great for soap for your bathroom or something like that, or just any kind of trinkets. I like to keep one by my kitchen sink for when I'm doing the dishes. I want to take off any jewelry. It's great for that. So obviously I'm not flipping this inside out. It's a pretty thin mold. It's not super deep. Shallow mold, I guess, is really the word. So I'm gonna just try it like this. You could absolutely flip it inside out if you wish, though. And I'm just gonna make sure I get all these sides covered. Okay, I think that's pretty good. There's a very quiet chat box tonight. You guys all doing good? Okay. Oh, don't spill it. All right, so I got a little bit more clear in here. I'm going to add to this black. I'll get that stirred in. And this should be plenty. So I haven't really had a problem with it in this mold, but just I'm going to pre-spritz it with the alcohol because why not? And again, just pour slow. You don't want to overfill it. And there we go. Okay, guys. Yeah, I find the colors mesmerizing as well. So you can, I'll bring these back into view. You can see that air bubbles have popped up in these. Well, I hope you can see it through the camera. So spritz it and good. Maybe come back one more time. You don't need to overdo it though. And on the bowl, I like to wait a little bit longer. It does not look like there's any air bubbles right now, but come back in 5 to 10 minutes and there might be a stray bubble or two that popped up from the side. So you gotta do good with that, okay? Okay, guys. Well, I'm glad that you are all having a fantastic week. I really appreciate you joining me. I will demold these tomorrow and I'll post a photo on the YouTube channel, okay? And then hopefully I'll be able to make these into regular videos as well. I didn't set up a secondary camera, so it'll just depend on how good the one that's streaming the live did. So, all right. Thank you for joining me. Have a great night. And I will see you all next time.